All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dig into some really groundbreaking ideas for saving two of our planet's most vital resources. Yep, the very soil and water that sustain us all. It's a huge question, right? But what if the solutions aren't some far-off, complicated policies, but are actually simple, really elegant ideas that work with nature? We're about to see how a little bit of ingenuity is already making a world of difference.
So before we jump into the really cool solutions, we've got to understand the problem. And it's what you could call a silent crisis. It's happening slowly, often out of sight, but it's affecting the absolute foundation of our world, our soil and our water.
Think about it. Every single day, precious topsoil gets washed or blown away, gone forever. Pollution seeps into our land, into our waterways, and we waste billions of gallons of water. This is that silent crisis that we really need to get a handle on. Okay, and this is where the story gets really good. Because for every single challenge, there are brilliant people out there dreaming up new ways to heal, to protect, and to conserve. We're not just fighting a problem anymore. We're totally rethinking our relationship with these resources.
So let's start from the ground up, literally. How are we helping the land itself recover and thrive? Let's look at two absolutely fantastic techniques.
First up is mulching. And obviously, it's just as simple and brilliant as it sounds. By covering that bare soil with a layer of organic stuff, or even plastic in some cases, you're creating a shield. It's a super low-tech solution that has incredibly high impact results.
And the difference is it's striking. Look at bare soil. It's completely vulnerable. The sun bakes it, the wind strips it. It's losing moisture constantly. But add one simple layer of mulch, and you've created this perfect shield. It becomes like a sponge, locking in that moisture, protecting the soil structure. And as that mulch breaks down, it's not just protecting the soil, it's actively feeding it.
So if mulching protects the soil, our next technique actually heals it. It's called bioremediation, and it almost sounds like something out of science fiction. Instead of using harsh chemicals, we deploy living organisms. We're talking specific plants or microbes that literally eat pollution, breaking down nasty contaminants into harmless stuff.
The process itself is wonderfully logical. Scientists figure out what the pollutant is, and then they match it with its natural enemy. For instance, you can use poplar trees to soak up dry cleaning solvents right out of the groundwater. Or you can use certain bacteria to digest oil spills. It's a super targeted, natural cleanup crew that works from the inside out. Pretty amazing.
Okay, so from healing the ground we stand on, let's turn our attention to the liquid that gives us all life. How can we get a whole lot smarter about the way we use water?
So much of our water use, especially in farming, has been just inefficient for centuries. This quote right here, it just nails the new way of thinking. The goal isn't just to use less water, it's to be radically more intelligent about it. And it's technology that's making that kind of precision possible.
And wow, the results really do speak for themselves. Old school methods, like just flooding a field, can lose more than half the water to evaporation and runoff. But look at this chart. Smart systems slash that waste dramatically. We're talking by over 60% in some cases. That is a revolutionary leap in efficiency.
So how do they do it? It's all about the tech. You've got soil sensors that measure moisture levels in real time, and then these drip systems deliver water directly to the plant's roots, one drop at a time. Seriously, think of it like giving each plant its own personal drinking straw instead of just turning on a fire hydrant.
But what about all the water we've already used? Well, that's where our final innovation comes into play: water recycling. The big idea here is that used water, or gray water, isn't waste at all. It's a resource. It's about closing the loop, creating a truly circular water economy. The process you see here is actually pretty straightforward. The real innovation is that huge mindset shift, seeing used water not as something to get rid of, but as a valuable resource. And this isn't just a theory. Cities from Singapore all the way to Orange County, California, are already doing this on a large scale. They're proving it can boost a region's water supply and make them more resilient against drought. So we've looked at 4 really distinct practices, 2 for soil, 2 for water. But when you put them all together, they start to paint a really hopeful picture for our future.
Let's do a quick recap. We've got mulching, that protective blanket for the soil. Bioremediation, nature's very own cleanup crew. Smart irrigation, for precision watering that stops waste. And water recycling, which gives every single drop a second life. Each one is such a powerful tool in our conservation toolkit.
But, when you boil it all down, what connects all these different practices is a fundamental shift in how we think. This isn't about fighting nature anymore. It's about understanding it and working with it more intelligently. It's really a collaboration between our ingenuity and the natural world.
And that brings us to our final thought. When you see these incredible innovations in action, you just have to wonder, if we can apply this kind of clever, collaborative thinking to the very ground beneath our feet, what other huge challenges are actually within our reach? That's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us.